Morning, everyone. Can you all hear me in the back? All right, perfect. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning, being here to celebrate this community milestone. This is something that's obviously been a day that's been in the making for some time. For those of you who I haven't met yet, I'm Alex Alon, the Executive Director for the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Watertown, and I've been fortunate enough to be a part of this project for the past year plus. So in a few minutes, we're going to put these ceremonial gold shovels in the ground to commemorate the official start of construction of the town square. We're all very excited. As you can see, we've got equipment on hand. Work is already underway, and we've been fortunate enough, as today is a perfect indicator, to have really good weather to get us off to a great start. So I'd like you all to now join me. Do you have somebody for the pledge? In standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. It's with great pleasure now that I have the fortune to introduce you to Barton and Laura Benson, or Barton Benson. With family roots in Watertown and a legacy of generosity and civic engagement, Barton, on behalf of the Benson family, completed our fundraising efforts by donating the final $1 million needed to reach our goal and make this project possible. Yeah. Thank you. He and his wife, Laura, flew in yesterday from Arizona to join us. So again, a round of applause, and let's give the Bensons a warm Watertown welcome.
Thank you, Alex, for that warm welcome. The Benson family is excited to honor Watertown's past, present, and future with our support of this community park and the Watertown community. The Benson family history in Watertown dates back to our first arrivals from Germany in the early 1860s. Many of you may remember my grandfather, former Mayor A.E. Mike Benson. My grandfather, Mike, was committed to serving the Watertown community. In addition to serving as mayor, my grandfather was also president of the Watertown School Board, first chairman of the Indoor Swimming Pool Committee, and later its treasurer, and was owner of Benson Sharp Corner Grocers, later to become Red's Bell Market, and now Sharp Corner Park. I am certain that my grandfather and his wife, my grandmother Joy, are looking down at today's ceremony with immense pride and satisfaction in the future that this park holds for the Watertown community. Our family has always connected with the idea you don't truly know where you are going unless you know where you have been. As a son of a Watertown native, Charles G. Benson, Dad was a firm believer in wanting Watertown to keep its unique identity and not to become another suburb of Milwaukee or Madison. Watertown has a unique, rich history full of innovative thinkers with a dedication to the community. I join my father and my family in believing that the history of the community needs to be remembered and celebrated as a reflection of what the future holds. After growing up in Watertown and then attending UW-Madison, my father worked and lived in Arizona and Nevada, but his heart was always in Watertown. He frequently expressed his love of Watertown, its unique history, and as he always said, a great place to grow up to whomever he would listen. We are confident that this gift will continue that legacy and be the cornerstone of the Main Street downtown area's future. We do the thing. Since the beginning of the project some years ago, the land has officially been named Town Square, unofficially named Town Square. Besides breaking ground to celebrate the long-awaited start of construction today, in the spirit of the Benson family commitment to the Watertown community, especially my father and grandfather, to the city they loved fiercely, we officially dedicate this land to the people of Watertown Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Benson Family Town Square.
At the risk of the wind blowing this thing over, you can come view this later. I'm not posting it up here right now. Thank you, Barton. Thank you, Barton, once again for your generosity and for joining us today. So we're standing here on this site, writing our part of Watertown's history. And today wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the work and vision of our next speaker, a man who doesn't need any introduction, but I'll do it anyway, former Mayor John David.
As usual, I'm the only one who does not have a prepared speech. You gotta love Wisconsin, really. 24 hours ago, I was standing over in Glenn's parking lot grilling bratwurst from 8 o'clock until 12:30 in the pouring rain. I'm glad it's not like that today. I think that what is going to take place here in the future is going to be absolutely fantastic. The vision was to do something dramatic downtown, and I think right across the street from us is one of the dramatic things that has taken place. The town square is going to be another dramatic thing that is going to take place here, that is going to draw people to our downtown and make it a better place. We have an asset that's flowing right by us right now. We need to capitalize on that asset, and parking lots are not necessarily the way to capitalize on that asset. And I think that there are lots of good things that are going to happen in the future. If you drive downtown right now, there's all kinds of businesses that have improved themselves. They've improved their buildings. Things are really looking up here in this community. And again, this is just part of everything that is going to take place down here. Barton, we cannot thank you enough for your donation to this project. This is absolutely huge. I want to thank the mayor for keeping this going, Alex for being part of the team to keep it going. Rob Marchant is up here from the Redevelopment Authority. All of those members of that authority, I have to absolutely thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying the course, for helping to make this happen. It was tense at times, and that is putting it lightly. But I appreciate everything that everyone has done. I know I went to some of the meetings that were held, and I heard a lot of pros and cons. At the end of the day, though, this is going to be a pro and a positive for this city. And I want to thank all the citizens. I want to thank all of you for helping to make this happen and to help make Watertown the great place that it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor David. So today, with just a little bit of imagination, you can see glimpses of the Benson Family Town Square behind us. There are 4 activity centers on the square. Videos and more information can be found on the Redevelopment Authority's website, watertownredevelopment.org. How's that for a shameless plug? We've got the Rock River Plaza at the river's edge, the Fisher Barton Performance Plaza and Amphitheater with an open air stage. We've got an interactive water feature, splash pad, and a community shelter. And over by the library, we'll have the Library Plaza, which will be host to markets and other special events. Behind these plazas, which look like piles of dirt right now, are some very, very special, hardworking people. Backhoes and skid steers, this is all very visible. But the preparation and efforts that go into something like this can be hard to see. Watertown's Redevelopment Authority and its board chair, Rob Marchant, have been working diligently with a small, dedicated group of people to make possible what we're doing today. Please join me in welcoming Rob to the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see this turnout. It's unbelievable. It's exciting. As I've said many times to the board members of the RDA and others, this project has many fathers and mothers. And like any good success, we're going to look back on this and see that there's so much credit to go around and so many thanks to give. Today's more than a groundbreaking ceremony. It represents a uniting of ideas around one central theme: transformative change that creates a prosperous and bright future for our community. We're here today as a result of what happens when a belief in what once maybe was unimaginable is actually joined with the commitment to collaboration and working together, and a roll-up-your-sleeves, can-do attitude that just won't be denied in getting it done. Perseverance prevailed in this effort through maybe some too long stretches where it seemed like there was no progress being made, and you could barely measure that progress in the eighth of an inch. And it kind of helped us get through those moments too, like any local project where things can get derailed with turf battles or interpersonal challenges. Everybody really always kind of circled back around to the mission and a commitment to working together and trying to get something really great done for the community. So I will always think of this square as a monument to collaboration and what can get done when people really work together. It's amazing to be in a community with people who believe we can accomplish great things and believe that it's best to do it together. So here's my list of thank yous. Thank you to Mayor John David, Mayor Emily McFarland, Senator John Jagler, the RDA board members, past and present, our Common Council and those who have served on it through the years that we've had this project going, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources and the Economic Development Corporation, who have been instrumental really in providing some grant funding and technical assistance in this project, which when you're on the edge of a river is actually technically very challenging to pull off and to do in a way that, as John said, takes advantage of the asset and doesn't harm it. All of these government leaders were instrumental in us getting here today. And you know how hard it is to work together. It's even harder when you're in government to work together. And so we owe them a debt of gratitude for finding a way to make it happen. Thank you to our fundraising committee and others. It was a joint effort who helped us raise $2.5 million in private donations to help fund this project. Our major donors, the Benson family, Fisher Barton, the Greater Watertown Community Health Foundation, the Earl and Eugenia Quirk Foundation, Bank First, Tom Schultz, he's here, has been instrumental in helping us raise money, the City of Watertown, and many anonymous contributors, some very sizable contributors who wish to remain anonymous, who helped make this happen today. Thank you to the Town Square Design Committee, the Smith Group, Moss Brothers, Kristen Fish Peterson, our first executive director of the RDA, and someone who really worked with Mayor David at the very early stages to get this vision pulled together. Alex, our current executive director, Jeannie Miller, our communications person, and our many community supporters like Yes Watertown and others who are always careful to follow our progress, amplify our successes in the community, and kind of keep the trains moving when they're sitting on the bar stool or at the country club or in the grocery store and somebody starts bending their ear. I'm almost done. You get the sense at how many people were involved in this. I want to thank the former owners of the properties that stood on this spot. The RDA was committed to negotiating a fair deal to acquire those properties, but negotiation is a two-way street, and it really took an open mind and the cooperation of those property owners to work with us in a fair spirit and really help make this happen for the community in a great way. So we really owe them a debt of gratitude as well. And a special thank you to my vice chair of the RDA, Nate Salas. Nate has been just a phenomenal co-leader and partner in this effort. He does a lot behind the scenes, never wants to see a bunch of credit, but I would tell you we're not here today if it weren't for the efforts that he has put in over the years. And again, that commitment to really pushing us to be collaborative and find a way to get it done. I'm proud to call Watertown my home. I want to thank my wife, Amy, for giving me away on many nights during the week to work on this project. We've had a blessing in our life to raise our family here. Both kids are soon to be out of the house, so you'll find us playing in the splash pad without them. Friends, under this dirt and rubble is a world-class square, readying to emerge, and it will take center stage in our downtown. The land is cleared, the money's raised, and it's time to turn the page on a chapter full of what are now imaginable possibilities and opportunities. So thank you all, and I'd like to invite Scott Hoffman to come forward. Scott's the CEO of Fisher Barton, obviously a key employer and leader in our community, and I'd like him to say a few words, please. Thank you. Hey, Scott.
Good morning. My name is Scott Hoffman. I'm the CEO of Fisher Barton. Wanted to take a moment to represent the Wilkie family today. Dick Wilkie couldn't be here with us today, but he did visit our headquarters, which are 2 blocks away at the end of Water Street, and made sure that before he left town, he made a stop to get some ice cream and some Sweeg's burgers. So he's here with us in spirit today. The contribution of the Wilkie family is really in recognition of what the men and women of Watertown have meant to our company. More than 50 years ago, Mr. Wilkie took his degree in metallurgy from UW-Madison and renovated the blacksmith shop at the end of this building right on the river to form a global corporation. Since then, we have made more than 364 million lawnmower blades, as well as many surgical instruments and other cutting products that are used around the world. So today, I just wanted to take a moment to thank the people of Watertown for what they've meant to our company, and to thank the Wilkies for enabling us to make this investment. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott, and thank you, Rob. For those of you who didn't see earlier this summer, Fisher Barton stepped forth and donated to sponsor the Fisher Barton Performance Plaza. So hopefully we'll be catching concerts there coming soon. Now I'd like to invite someone that I have the pleasure of working with every day, and now have the pleasure of working with for the next 3 years too, and that is Watertown's very own Mayor Emily McFarland.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm honored to be standing in front of you all on this site with the opportunity to share and imagine all that is yet to come. The images of kids running through the water feature, families fishing on the pier, or young adults taking in a concert on the event stage once seemed like just dreams, yet here we are. As we've heard, the road to get here has been long and at times quite trying, but through the tireless work of many, we have persevered to this moment. The strife, the conflict, the budgeting, the permits, the demolition, the grants, the meetings, my goodness, the city meetings, have all been worth it. On behalf of our community, thank you. Thank you to this city for believing in us, for challenging us, and for doubting us. Your doubt and your support inspired us to produce this incredible space. And I know I'm not supposed to do this, so I'm sorry, Jeannie, but I would be, my mother is here and she'd be upset at me if I did not appropriately thank people. So I know people have already been thanked, but I would be remiss to not do it as well. Thank you to our donors, our major donors, and those that just rounded up at the cash register. Thank you to the Benson family. It goes without saying that this community asset and this regional attraction would not be possible without your confidence in it and your heart to support it. And I have to thank the RDA, to Chairman Rob Marchant and Vice Chair Nate Salas and all of the members, past and present, who have taken on some really tough conversations, but believed in this dream. I thank you. Thank you to Alex and Jeannie, who have come on board when we needed solid and consistent support and brought us to today. And last, I get the honor to do this so often, and I'm so appreciative. I have to thank you, Mayor. I sat down in Mayor David's office in 2014, an alderperson for barely a year, and he relayed this vision to me. Your vision to create this space, your vision that inspired a community, and your vision that inspired me. I've said it many times. The Benson Family Town Square is a part of our economic development strategy. Placemaking, creating spaces where people want to be, draws people into our city. The more people in our community, the more employees we have in our labor pool, the more children attend our schools, the more visitors contribute to our local economy, and so on. This space is so many things. Yes, it's a park, but it's also a community space. It's an event space. It's where a musician will play their first public concert. It's where an artist will sit and draw. It's where children will eat their first Mullins ice cream cone. It's where 5K races will start. It's where families will dock their kayak and come up and buy vegetables from the farmer's market. It's where a senior will sit and read a book. And come 2024, it's where residents from the T-Wall Enterprises development directly to the south will walk out of their front door and become a part of our community. Nearly a decade ago, I asked the City Council to select me to be on the council with them because I wanted to give the next generation an even better version of Watertown than I grew up in. And now, just imagining these moments, the first and the last, that will happen here, I think we're making good on that promise. And there is no one better to speak to the next generation of Watertonians than one themselves. Knowing we would have this groundbreaking and that we wanted our youth and the community to be involved, we held an art contest. Contestants had to share what they were looking forward to doing at the town square. The winner would get to join us here today and share a few words. We had wonderful entries, which will be on display at the reception, but I think the drawing of the splash pad was the winner. So with that, please help me welcome our first grade contestant winner, Henry Gates. And I'm going to hold this. Why don't you step right over here with me, Henry? And then would you like to say anything to everybody? Tell them that maybe about the splash pad.
I'm excited to go play at the splash pad with my friends, my family, my cousins, my sister, my brother, my dad, my mom, everyone.
And say thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. And then you can come sit right down by me.
A far more talented artist than I am. Thank you, Mayor McFarland, for your words and for the hard work that you've put into making this dream come true. Before we break ground, I just want to invite everybody to join us immediately after the ceremony, after we dig the ceremonial dirt in the community room up at the brand new library, or the reconstructed library. Also, for those of you who want to continue watching the town square rise from this dirt, again, shameless plug, we'll have weekly updates on the Redevelopment Authority's website, so you can follow along live as we go along. Thank you all for coming, and let's dig some dirt.